Nestled between rolling hills and a whispering pine forest lay the town of Whispering Pines. This picturesque town, with its serene landscape and tranquil environment, was a hidden gem, known only to those who sought solace away from the bustling cities. The pine trees, tall and majestic, seemed to guard the town, their whispers carried by the gentle breeze. It was a quaint and quiet place with charming little houses and a friendly general store. The streets were lined with homes that had been passed down through generations, each with its own story to tell. The general store, a hub of activity, was where townsfolk gathered to share news and laughter, creating a sense of community that was hard to find elsewhere. Children loved to play hide and seek amongst the tall trees, their laughter echoing through the woods. The forest was their playground, a place where their imaginations could run wild. They would spend hours exploring, climbing trees, and creating memories that would last a lifetime. The sound of their joy was a constant reminder of the town's vibrant spirit. But something changed in Whispering Pines. As the sun set and the shadows grew longer, an unexplainable shift began to take place. The once familiar and comforting surroundings started to feel different, as if an unseen presence had settled over the town. The laughter faded, replaced by an eerie silence. The forest, once filled with the sounds of children playing, now stood silent and foreboding. The streets, where neighbors once greeted each other with warm smiles, were now empty and desolate. It was as if the very soul of the town had been drained away. The townsfolk, once full of life, now seemed afraid of their own shadows. They moved about cautiously, their eyes darting around as if expecting something terrible to happen at any moment. Conversations were hushed, and the once lively gatherings at the general store became rare and subdued. The once vibrant town was now shrouded in an unsettling quiet, as if holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. The air was thick with tension, and an unspoken fear seemed to grip the hearts of everyone who called Whispering Pines home. The change was palpable, and it left an indelible mark on the town's spirit. Whispering Pines had become a town haunted by fear. The whispers of the pine trees, once a soothing melody, now sounded like ominous warnings. The town, once a haven of peace and joy, had transformed into a place of unease and dread. The mystery of what had caused this change lingered in the air, leaving everyone to wonder if Whispering Pines would ever return to its former glory. It all started with strange noises at night. The once peaceful nights in Whispering Pines were now filled with an unsettling symphony of sounds that no one could explain. Eerie whispers seemed to come from the woods, sending shivers down the bravest souls' spines. These whispers were not just random sounds, they seemed to carry messages, almost as if the forest itself was trying to communicate with the townsfolk. Objects would move mysteriously, disappearing and reappearing in odd places. Chairs would be found in different rooms, and personal items would vanish only to reappear in the most unexpected spots. It was as if an unseen force was playing tricks on everyone. People spoke of fleeting shadows and ghostly figures that vanished when approached. These apparitions were often seen at the edge of the forest, their forms barely visible in the moonlight, disappearing as quickly as they appeared. Fear gripped the townsfolk, spreading like wildfire. The once tight-knit community was now on edge, with neighbors whispering about the latest strange occurrence and children too scared to play outside. One by one, families packed their belongings and moved away, seeking solace from the unsettling events. The exodus began slowly, with a few families leaving, but soon it became a mass departure, as the strange happenings showed no sign of stopping. Soon, Whispering Pines became a ghost town, haunted not only by strange occurrences, but also by the memory of its joyful past. The laughter of children, the bustling market days, and the community gatherings were now just echoes in the wind, replaced by an eerie silence that enveloped the town. Little Timmy, known for his adventurous spirit, refused to believe the stories. He often sat by his window, peering into the woods, determined to solve the mystery. One night, Timmy saw something unusual. A faint, ethereal glow emanated from the heart of the forest. It pulsed softly like a beacon in the night. Timmy knew he had to investigate. Grabbing his trusty flashlight, Timmy tiptoed out of his house and into the unknown. As Timmy ventured deeper into the woods, the strange glow grew stronger. The whispers he had heard before seemed to surround him, but Timmy pressed on, his heart pounding in his chest. Finally, he stumbled upon a clearing. In the center, bathed in the otherworldly light, stood a group of figures. They weren't scary or menacing. Instead, they seemed lost and confused, their forms shimmering like heat waves. Timmy realized these were the ghosts everyone feared. Just as Timmy was trying to understand what he was seeing, a powerful whooshing sound filled the air. Above the clearing, two magnificent bald eagles circled, their piercing eyes fixed on the ghostly figures below. The eagles were a striking sight, their wingspans as wide as a car. Timmy had never seen anything so majestic. He watched in awe as they landed gracefully on a branch, their gaze never leaving the ghosts. The eagles seemed to radiate an aura of peace and strength. As they stared intently at the ghostly figures, the eerie glow in the clearing began to diminish. The whispers, once so loud, softened to a gentle murmur. Timmy, sensing a connection with the majestic creatures, felt a surge of courage. He looked up at the eagles, and for a moment he could have sworn one of them winked at him. Timmy knew he had to help the eagles. Taking a deep breath, Timmy stepped into the clearing. The ghostly figures turned towards him, their forms flickering like candle flames. Timmy, remembering the eagle's calming presence, stood tall and spoke in a clear voice. "Why are you here?" he asked. "What do you want?" The ghosts, startled by Timmy's courage, responded with a chorus of whispers. They were lost and confused, unable to find their way home. Section 8. The Night of the Eagles. The eagles swooped down from their perch, circling Timmy and the ghosts. With each pass, the eagle's wings seemed to brush against the ghostly figures, creating a soft, whooshing sound. Timmy noticed that with each pass, the ghosts seemed to become a little less transparent, their forms a bit more defined. He understood. The eagles were helping the ghosts regain their strength, guiding them back to where they belonged. Section 9. The Ghosts' Retreat. As the night wore on, the eagles continued their ethereal dance, their powerful wings guiding the ghosts towards the sky. One by one, the ghostly figures rose from the clearing, their forms becoming more distinct with each passing moment. Timmy watched in amazement as the ghosts, finally at peace, followed the eagles towards the bright full moon, their ethereal forms fading into the night sky until they disappeared completely. Section 10. A Town Reborn. Whispering Pines, a town once shrouded in mystery and fear, was on the brink of a new beginning. With the ghosts gone, the eerie glow vanished and the whispers ceased. The once haunted forest, which had been a source of dread for generations, was now just a memory. The forest was silent once more, but this time it was a peaceful silence. Birds began to sing again, and the rustling of leaves was no longer a harbinger of fear, but a soothing melody of nature. Timmy, exhausted but exhilarated, returned to Whispering Pines and told everyone what he had witnessed. His eyes sparkled with excitement as he recounted the events, his voice filled with a mix of awe and relief. At first people were skeptical, but the evidence was undeniable. The strange occurrences that had plagued the town for so long had ceased. The townsfolk gathered in the square, discussing the miraculous change. Their faces a mix of disbelief and hope. The strange noises had stopped, the shadows disappeared, and a sense of peace returned to Whispering Pines. The streets, once deserted at dusk, now saw children playing and neighbors chatting, the air filled with laughter and joy. Slowly, families started to trickle back, drawn by the newfound tranquility. The town, which had once been on the verge of abandonment, was now bustling with life. New families moved in, old residents returned, and the community began to rebuild, stronger and more united than ever before. Section 11. The legend lives on. Whispering Pines came back to life, its streets once again filled with laughter and the joyful sounds of children playing. The memory of the ghostly encounters faded into legend, a tale whispered around campfires, reminding everyone of the night the Eagles saved their town. And so, the town of Whispering Pines lived on, a testament to the courage of a young boy and the majestic power of the Eagles, forever etched in the heart of its extraordinary story.